We've seen some comments from you recently asking what Nicole's been up to, so we're going to cover that. Before we get into that, though, please subscribe to our channel, and if you have time, check out our other videos. If you have any questions for Nicole, make sure you put them below, and we'll be sure that she answers them for you. So, Nicole, what have you been up to this summer? Where are you at, and what are you doing?
So I'm currently in Haarlem in the Netherlands, which is about 20 minutes away, give or take, from Amsterdam. I'm playing for a team out here called the Sparks. And I got out here
about a month ago.
Probably, yeah, almost a month ago. Yeah, I'll be here the whole summer. We've played almost every weekend, so it's been fun being able to play again. It was definitely a little rough at first, but we're settling in. So
why was it rough at first?
Well, the first game was like the day after I got off of the plane.
That'll do it.
Yep. And I didn't sleep on the plane, and usually I have no problem sleeping on planes. Took my medicine and everything, and it just wide awake. I did my mobility recovery, all that when I got here, all the stretching. I still the next day was just not there. And the coaches were kind of talking to me before the game, no pressure, just kind of going over some things. And they were like, but you're starting. No pressure, but you're starting. I'm like, okay. And it was rough. I had probably the most walks I've ever had in a game. Couldn't feel my body, couldn't feel my legs. It was around that time of the day where, jet lag, I was struggling real bad. So that was rough, but
you survived.
Survived, made it. But it was also exciting playing in a game again. It was like, I was nervous, but also like a good nervous, but I hadn't played in an actual game in over a year at that point. So it was obviously jumping right into it off the plane, but it was going to have to happen at some point. So
what are some of the biggest differences you've noticed between in the play over there, the style of play and strategies that you've noticed over there?
I feel like it's pretty simple. I feel like when it comes to pitch calling, the catcher that catches me most of the time, she does a really good job of pitch calling, which kind of surprised me, not in for her, but in general. I feel like pitcher catcher, you kind of have to get to know each other and know what you're good at, know what pitches to throw in certain counts. And we kind of talked about it that first game back, when I was warming up. I'm like, okay, these are the pitches I go to in these counts. I was like, I don't know what it's going to look like today. And I feel like has been doing a good job. I think overall strategy, again, it's pretty simple softball, if that makes sense. I don't know the signs of what's going on. When the hitters are hitting, I don't know what those signs are. I keep going back to wanting to say it's very simple. It's just go out there and play almost. But then again, I'm also new on this team, and everyone has been playing with each other for however long. And so I feel like I'm still picking up on things that either they expect or what their strategy is. Still learning all of that. And so it's been fun, and talking to the girls, I feel like too, it's kind of able to understand the dynamic a little bit more, understand the style a little bit more.
So some of my favorite things when I would play overseas would be how I would need to overcome the language barrier and just kind of adapting to the different culture. So what's that like been over there? I've heard that the Netherlands is a very English friendly country. A lot of people speak English, even primarily, but how have those been? And the culture differences between the US and there?
I love it here. The culture here is so I keep telling my parents and my friends when I'm talking to them, it's very focused. Work-life balance is a thing. I had to ask one of the coaches. He was driving me around, showing me the area that I would be staying in. And I had to ask him, do you have a job other than coaching? And so he was telling me about it. I'm like, it doesn't seem like any of these people have jobs, because in the States, it's very work, grind. Work is your life. Here, they enjoy their life. They romanticize their life. They spend time outside or just reading a book outside a cafe, and they really slow down, which I love. I'm like, this is great. So I like that side definitely of the culture aspect. I would say it was a positive culture shock. Oh my gosh, I had to ask my coach too. I'm like, you still have 40-hour work weeks? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, what is America doing wrong? I don't know how we're living completely different lives, but I think, and like you said, they speak a lot of English here. So I haven't run into any person so far, I don't think, that hasn't spoken English. My teammates all speak English, so that's helpful. They've taught me some different Dutch words or what to say in certain conversations and all of that, which has been great. I was here for a couple days, and I asked my teammates, I'm like, so what's wrong with your country? Because it doesn't really seem like there's anything bad here. And they were saying, well, oh, sometimes Dutch people are really direct. I'm like, well, that's a good thing. You get to the point quicker. So I'm like, there's no tornadoes, there's no big bugs, there's nice people, good food, fresh food. Like everyone loves their life here. It seems like I just, like it's just so great. But
Okay, so you mentioned food, and I was going to ask this anyway. What's been your favorite dish that you've had there so far?
oh, see, the great thing about here is that there is a big mix of different kinds of foods. Like I found a good Thai place the other day, which I was kind of shocked. But like the like Dutch food, I like the bitterballen, which is like I don't even know what it is. I think it's like sausage, like mass sausage with other things in like a fried little ball. It's almost like a croquette, which they have those here too, but it's like in a little ball. They have like there's like a little bakery around the corner that I go to a lot and get, you know, some freshly made pastries. What else? I mean, like it's more so like the snacks or like the smaller like appetizer things. Oh, the sausage and broche.
You'll get it.
I
You'll
keep
get the name of
butchering
it
the name.
down.
I thought I had it right, and then my teammates corrected me. So sausage and broche, something like that,
You'll get
which
it.
is basically like that sausage filling, but in like a pastry. Oh, that's fire. And like Amsterdam is obviously really close. I went there last week and they have obviously a lot more kinds of foods too, being a bigger city and all, but good Italian. I've had good Asian food, had some good steak. Like they got everything, which is great.
Nice.
I've been cooking a lot too.
Anything else that you think we should be, or you want to talk about with your time over there yet?
In a way that it's also different is like the pace of practices or things like that. It's very different than like Oklahoma, obviously, but it's also been nice. Like we practice 2 days a week. We play on the weekends. I'm a 4-minute bike ride from the field, which is great. You know what you need to work on. You know what you need to focus on. It was kind of like when I was practicing before I got here, it was like, okay, what is my bullpen focus going to be today? Even like in college too, you had a little bit more guidance. And obviously we have a pitching coach here too, but it's like, okay, what is my focus going to be? And I feel like when I first got here, I was struggling with like, so first there was the nerves and then like not playing well and then almost psyching myself out. And then I found myself like, again, like reflecting after games and things like that. I was feeling really tight. So then the next practice, I was like, okay, we're just going to go back to the basics. If it's loose, perfect. Like there's nothing else I'm focusing on. And I felt a lot better after that and felt much better in the games that were after that also. So it is just different than college ball where it's like you get to practice and like, here's the layout, here's everything that we're doing. It's like, no, you know, like you kind of know you need to work on based on the last game or based on what you've been feeling. What is it that you are focusing on in the practice time that we're given? So it's been fun so far and I'm loving the experience. I'm very happy that I did this. I like being able to travel and play softball.
Also, you're welcome. I planted this seed like 10 years ago.
Yeah, literally, like it's kind of just thank you.
Welcome.
You've been hyping it up to me for so long where I'm like, yeah.
Because it's literally the best.
It's great.
I played in Austria in 2006, and two of my teammates who I'd like rarely talk to, they met me in Tromsø last year just to hang out when I was on vacation with my family. Like it was amazing.
Great experience. Highly recommend.
Okay, bye.